Something just happened behind the scenes that has the entire NBA buzzing. Multiple insiders connected to both camps are now pointing to a story that could completely change how fans view Jalen Brunson and Victor Wembanyama. What started as a championship celebration may have just exploded into one of the most intense rivalries basketball has seen in years, and the people closest to the situation believe this is only the beginning. Moments after the Knicks captured the 2026 NBA championship, Brunson reportedly made a move that immediately sent shockwaves through the entire league. At first, most fans did not catch it, but once the word started spreading, the reaction was instant. Players noticed it, executives noticed it, fans could not stop talking about it, and within hours, what should have been a pure celebration suddenly turned into a full-blown controversy. Now, the biggest question is not about the championship anymore. It is about what happened next. Because if the reports are accurate, this could be the spark that ignites a rivalry capable of dominating NBA headlines for years to come. And the details that are starting to emerge have people around the league completely divided. And the craziest part, he was not finished. What Brunson said next only poured gasoline directly onto the fire and sparked even more debate about Wembanyama's future and legacy. For years, the NBA world believed there was nothing but mutual respect between Brunson and Wembanyama. Then a 6-second clip from the Knicks championship celebration changed everything. The video showed Brunson leading a roaring New York crowd in a chant aimed directly at Wembanyama. Within hours, the clip exploded across social media, racking up millions of views and sending fans into an absolute frenzy. Knicks fans called it passion, Spurs fans called it disrespect, and by the next morning, all eyes were locked on Brunson. Reporters gave him every opportunity to walk it back. They expected an apology, an excuse, anything to calm the growing controversy. Instead, Brunson looked straight ahead and refused to back down.
But forgot who the real MVP is.
A lot of fans think this rivalry was born during the finals, but the real story goes back much further than that. And once people started revisiting old games, everything began to make a lot more sense. The biggest flashpoint came on March 29, 2024. Brunson erupted for a career-high 61 points and looked ready to own every headline the next morning. Then Wembanyama stole part of the spotlight with a historic 40-point, 20-rebound performance that powered the Spurs to an overtime victory. And that is when the controversy exploded. After the final buzzer, when Wembanyama reportedly launched the game ball into the crowd, delaying the Knicks from securing the ball connected to Brunson's milestone night. The incident sparked league-wide debate and eventually led to a fine. But here is what many people forget. Despite all the drama, when Wembanyama later praised Brunson's performance and openly acknowledged the greatness he had witnessed, at least publicly, the respect still appeared to be intact, or so everyone thought.
We see, I've never seen so much greatness before. And the season has been going on for just some months.
Wembanyama publicly showed respect after the game, but by then, many believed the damage was already done. From Brunson's perspective, the game ball incident felt deeply personal, and some fans think he never truly forgot it. To them, this was never about ego, it was about respect. When a player drops 61 points in the greatest scoring night of his career, most people believe that game ball belongs to him without any question. That is exactly why the controversy refused to die down even as time passed. Years later, the tension seemed to resurface during the 2026 NBA Finals in a significant way. In Game 3, a physical collision between Brunson and Wembanyama immediately ignited debate across the entire league. Officials let the play continue in the moment, but the controversy exploded the very next day when the league admitted a foul should have been called on the play. That acknowledgement only added more fuel to an already intensely heated series. By that point, both teams were competing with a sharp and unmistakable edge. The Knicks were constantly targeting Wembanyama physically, while the Spurs felt New York was deliberately pushing the boundaries of what should be allowed. Every possession became a war. Every confrontation became its own headline. Then came Game 4. After a big basket, Wembanyama appeared to taunt the Knicks crowd and let his emotions spill over in a way that turned heads around the league. Moments later, the physicality intensified again on the very next possession, and suddenly, what had started as a basketball series looked far more like a rivalry that had been quietly building and simmering for years, just waiting for the right moment to fully ignite.
Not much you're going to be able to do about that if you're Mitchell Robinson, but you can see right here, Wemmy's telling him, I'm in your head as he's going down the floor. This is what...
Now, here's going to be the interesting thing.
According to many analysts, the tension went far beyond a few controversial plays. The finals were physical from start to finish, with both teams pushing every limit in pursuit of a championship. Even Draymond Green argued that New York's aggressive defense showed just how seriously the Knicks viewed the challenge of stopping Wembanyama. But the real reason this rivalry exploded was not about fouls or flagrant calls. It was about two completely different paths to greatness colliding on the biggest stage in basketball. On one side was Jalen Brunson, a second-round pick who spent years fighting for respect and proving doubters wrong at every single turn. On the other hand was Victor Wembanyama, a generational talent who entered the league with global hype and superstar expectations before ever playing a single NBA minute. Many believe that contrast fueled much of the raw emotion surrounding the entire series. While Wembanyama remained the center of attention and the face of the future, Brunson was quietly leading a championship run and still battling for the recognition he deserved. To some people watching it all unfold, it felt like a battle between a player who earned absolutely everything through grinding and a player who was celebrated before he ever stepped onto an NBA court. That is exactly why the finals hit differently for Brunson on a personal level. The criticism, the doubts, and the endless comparisons were not new territory for him. For years, people questioned openly whether an undersized star could truly lead a franchise to a championship at the highest level, and that doubt became one of the most powerful motivations behind his entire rise to the top. As New York's success continued to grow throughout the season, those old dismissive comments resurfaced and circulated widely. And when pressed about them during a television appearance, the person who made them did not back down. They stood firmly by their original opinion and kept the debate alive without any hesitation. Then came the twist nobody saw coming. After the Knicks won the championship, Brunson's sister, Erica, resurfaced old comments that had questioned whether an undersized star could ever lead a team to a title, and she challenged every critic to respond publicly. The post went viral almost immediately and became another powerful symbol of Brunson's journey from overlooked prospect to NBA champion. And that is exactly what made this rivalry so genuinely fascinating to follow. Brunson and Wembanyama represented two completely different paths to greatness. One fought for every single opportunity and every ounce of respect he ever received. The other arrived carrying historic expectations and global attention before playing a single professional game. Neither path is wrong, but the contrast made every headline, every controversy, and every finals matchup feel deeply and undeniably personal. When the championship was finally on the line, Brunson delivered the defining performance of his entire career. He attacked relentlessly, poured in 45 points, and led New York to a dramatic 94-93 victory that ended the franchise's 53-year championship drought in the most unforgettable fashion imaginable. For many fans, it wasn't just a great game. It was the moment Brunson silenced every single doubt that had followed him throughout his career. Wembanyama refused to go quietly either, finishing with 19 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 blocks, while anchoring San Antonio's defense all the way until the final seconds expired. The Spurs fought with everything they had until the very end, but this time, the Knicks had the final answer. Then, immediately after the buzzer sounded, another controversy erupted. While New York celebrated wildly on the court, Wembanyama headed straight to the locker room before the festivities fully began. Social media exploded in an instant. Some fans saw frustration, others saw heartbreak. But either way, the debate took on a life of its own and spread rapidly across every platform. His post-game comments only poured more fuel onto an already raging fire. Suddenly, the rivalry was no longer just about basketball. It became a sweeping discussion about respect, media narratives, superstar expectations, and how greatness is judged and measured in today's NBA landscape. And that is precisely why this story is nowhere near finished. The Knicks got the championship, Brunson got his validation, but Wembanyama is still only getting started, and everyone paying attention knows it. The next time these two teams meet, every possession will be examined under a microscope. Every interaction will generate headlines, and every moment will carry the full weight of everything that came before it. Maybe this was never really about a game ball. Maybe it was never truly about a chant, a controversial foul, or a post-game comment. Maybe it was always about two elite competitors chasing the same throne from two opposite directions. And if that is true, then the most important chapter of this rivalry may still be waiting to be written. But what do you think?